We're live on TikTok. I think we're live on YouTube now. It looks like live. It's saying we're live. Hi. Okay, we won 3-0. It looked good. It looked good. I don't have a lot of criticisms. I have a really hard time judging the subs when you come on, you're already up 3-0. There's not you're like the boat's driving itself at this point, right? Like it's all on autopilot. So I don't. That's kind of the sad part. Is like I'd love to give you actual insight. Like how did Lo do? Like is she gonna come back in? I don't know, man. Like she came in when it was 3-0 up. Like she did fine. How was the first? The first half was great. Okay, the midfield was midfielding. The front line was just everything was flowing in a very fun way. We had good stability. It looked really, really good. So, what's with the Moultrie call? Remind me. Sorry, it's been a second. Call up. Okay, I was like, was there a foul? I remember there was like a moment that was, PK adjacent, but it wasn't that. What's with the call up? I think she's been strong for Portland. I think she's been strong. I have no issue with the call up. I'm happy to see her back in the mix. I think it's good for other players that have fallen out to see you can come back in. So, second half felt kind of, yeah, of course it did. I mean, of course it did, right? Like, it's a friendly. Once you're up 3 in a friendly, like what's going to happen? It's a friendly. So that's why I'm like, you want to ask me how Ali Sentnor did? Couldn't tell you. Like, I don't have any opinions on all that. I can tell you I didn't think Emily Sams looked really good, but, don't have a lot to say other than that. It's just hard to, when you're up 3-0, like what's going to happen? Honestly, what's going to happen? So, if you were just trying to cry 2 for Lo, I was like sitting there and I'm going, this is the second Saturday in a row I've cried on my couch watching soccer. And like, it's just so moving. And I was so happy for her to actually get in. I hope she starts next game against Jamaica. I want her to like get some minutes where it's, actually happening. I was out. How did we look? We looked fantastic. We looked fantastic. Sam's got cooked with the seconds coming in. Yeah, she did. That's why you don't sub center backs into a game in the 70th minute or 69th. I think she got subbed in. But either you don't do that. You're not setting a center back up to succeed. Then you don't do that. And again, for those of you on TikTok, I'm also on YouTube. There's only 13 people on YouTube, and so if you comment on YouTube, I will see it. If you're on TikTok, you might get lost in the stuff, especially if more people trickle in. I don't get why Lynn and Sears are on the field at the same time. They're both pretty one-dimensional. Having them play together hurts the team's connectivity. I don't disagree that I don't think they're best use cases together. I think they both provide pace to stretch. I don't think you want 2 of those if you're playing a high line. But also by that point, we were already up 3-0, and I think we were just trying to get people opportunities in minutes. But I don't think strategically it was a great idea, especially against that back line. I thought Sears didn't look too good. Sears just met. We're already up 3-0 though. Like, you're up 3-0. You're not playing with the same starting midfield. I'm not going to judge you on it. Sonnet might be on management. It's given she just played for CONCACAF. I don't think Emily Sonnet should be starting for the U.S. women's national team at any position, let alone center back. I don't. So I am totally fine with her being subbed out. She should be subbed out. She shouldn't be starting in friendlies. I'm sorry. She's a Band-Aid. She's not the solution. Like, let's come on. Let's be honest. Let's see. Will we ever rest Heaps? Apparently not. I mean, she looked good today, though. She looked good today. And I will remind you all again, like I said in the video recap, if you watched that before you came here, she is our only viable aerial threat right now. There is no one else. There is no one else that is a viable aerial threat. So until that changes, like, I think you got to keep her there for that. And then I also just think that, like, when you have a Lily Johanna is playing with Sam Coffey now that provides that stability in the midfield, you can use Lindsay Heaps the way she should be used and allow her to really flow in that attack with Kat Macario, who knows how to work with her. It's nice. I like her right now. Sears looked better than previous matches. Still has stuff to work on, but less shaky. Yeah, she's got a lot of potential. There's a lot of good there. I don't expect to see her stay in the pool long term, personally, at this point, but I don't hate her being there still and giving more chances. Let's see. Heaps, Lily, and Coffey, one of the most cohesive midfields we've had recently. It was great. They looked phenomenal. I don't really have any notes of things I would like to see done better from the first half. I thought the first half looked great. Do we have any long diagonal ball threats in the back line? Gurma, and then, McKeon can do it if she can come in, right? But again, I'm just going to keep saying this. I don't want to see 2 5'6" center backs. Stop it. And I think McKeon actually is 5'7", but still, got to get me a 5'10". Give me a tall girl. I need a tall girl back there. Sonnet. Emily Sonnet's the Band-Aid. I'm sorry. Like she's doing it better than I thought she could do. Okay, but that's not a long-term solution at center back. She's never going to give you the distribution, and she doesn't have the size. So then what are you giving me? Like, give me the distribution, give me the size, give me the speed. Give me one of the three. She has none of the three. Do Hutton and Labonta get starts on Tuesday? I mean, probably. Do you start them together and just play the club pairing? I think you might. Why not? And honestly, it's probably for the best for both of them because it gives them both a good chance of success playing with the player they're familiar with playing beside. So I don't hate that at all. And I think actually hearing it out loud now as I'm saying it, probably likely. Emily Sonnet versus Sweden in the World Cup round of 16, phenomenal. I completely agree with that. But she was playing what position? Yeah, defensive center mid. I love her as a midfielder. I love her coming in just to really mess with another team's flow and clog shit up. I think that's her best use case. Thompson looks so good. I wish she could have played a little longer. I think Alyssa Thompson's winning the MVP this year. She's been so good. She has been so good. She is showing that potential that people talked about her having 2 years ago when she was on the World Cup roster. Just great. Sam's a little shaky to have something like that. Completely agree. I think that was she absolutely looks shaky, but you cannot expect a center back to play well coming in at the 70th minute. That's why you should not sub your center backs. Just in general. You're not setting anybody up to succeed that way. Sonnet has the grit, and that's about it. But she's got really good grit. Okay, let me just be very clear here. I like Emily Sonnet. I don't think she should be starting. That's all. Staub, I think, would be better for the U.S. women's national team than Sam's. I agree, but again, give me a big girl. I need some size in this back line, guys. I'm getting nervous. Let's see. Sam's needs to start next game. Yeah, I'd like to see her get a chance to do that because she hasn't really. Alyssa is good this year, especially with Kat. Completely agree. I think they've been really nice together. I thought Abella would come in. I think Abella starts next game, or I hope she does. Because I'd like to see somebody actually get to play on that left that's not Crystal Dunn. So, but we will see. And if you're just joining us again, 3-0 win. Again, just generally, if you ask me about the folks who subbed in later, I don't know that I have a ton of feedback on that, just given the game flow. Do I prefer Sears or Cooper on the wing? Cooper. Eva Coutinho has the height. She does. I think that's partially why she's in the mix. Is she in the mix solely because of her height? No, I think she's got a lot of other good qualities that would lead her in the mix. But she's also in the category of player now where you're like, okay, why didn't you get called into the U23? So if I'm just like tea leave reading, like where are we in the flow? So I don't know. But I think her long-term potential is really strong. So Lily Real with defensive height. Agree. I think she's going to get a senior call up next window. Let's see. Who do I think is in the deeper pool for left back? Okay, I'm going to say it again. I've said it on every live. Today. Okay, I've got some kind of a piece of cilantro that keeps sticking to a finger, so we're going to throw that away. Maddie Darlene. Maddie Darlene's family. Anyone here who can get in touch with Maddie Darlene? Become a left back. Please. I have a vision. You'd be great at it. I think you're going to be an all-timer. Like, please. Anyway. Okay, that's it. That's about it. I've said it enough. But yeah, I've said it enough. Thoughts on Fallon? Rocky first, 5 to 10 with the feet. Made up for it, though, that distribution on the goal. Right? That play to Lindsay Heaps starts with PTJ. So you got to let these keepers, if you want them to play with their feet, you got to give them time getting comfortable playing with their feet. You got to be okay with it looking a little wonky. She doesn't do it a ton at club, so you got to let her do it with country, especially in a friendly. Let's see. Who was my player of the match? I'm going to go with Kat. Again, probably. Kat, yeah, it's probably Kat. Germa and McKeon are gonna be a good center back pairing if we can get them playing together again. They're too short. I don't want two shorts. Tierna Davidson is tall when she's back and healthy. She is. That's why it's Davidson and Germa. It's good. But yeah, does PTJ start next game or does Mandy? I'm gonna go. I think PTJ starting again. I think it's hers at this point. And again, for folks joining me now on TikTok, I'm also on YouTube. And on YouTube, there are only 21 people, so I can see the comments very easily. So you will get answered. What tall center back do we have besides Tierna, though? Yeah, it really is Eva Gattino in the pool at this point. There's a couple folks that were in some of the more recent looks that are closer to that, but it's a good point. You should be looking for some tall folks. Who can we convert? I'm telling you, Maddie Darlene, left back, and then slide her into the center long term. She's got the height. You could do it. I have a career trajectory for this person. So yeah, Tara's 5'7", so not that short. Yeah, but that's not tall. Like I said, I want to see a 5'10". Like, you know, 5'7" ain't gonna cut it if you come up against an actual aerial threat in the box, right? So, did I see the Fisher hair pull on Hammond? Kayla doesn't know how to control herself. Yeah, no, I saw that, and it's outrageous. And of course, she should get a 3-game ban. And it's like, if you look at the number of cards per minute of play that she accumulates, it's nuts. And I don't understand it. Like, I don't get it. Is Jamaica stronger than China? I'm unclear, because honestly, I'm not sure who's available for Jamaica. I have not looked yet. Jamaica has not the deepest roster. They have a couple of very talented players, but they also tend to hold out, and they might be injured. So I don't. And by hold out, I mean like there's just a lot of strife with the federation. So I don't know who's actually playing. UCL final was pretty trash. Not if you're a PSG fan, and I am married to one, so it was a nice time in my house. Do we know Sharples' height? Not off the top of my head. I think like a 5'9", 5'9" for Sharples, I want to say. 5'11" according to Google. Okay, thank you, Maya. So then, yeah, like you can throw Sharples in the mix. You know, that would be a height solve. Let's see, as a neutral. Yeah, as a neutral, that was terrible. That was not fun to watch. Will Rose ever make the national team again? I think if Rose is healthy, then yes, she'll be back. She's got one more cycle. But I don't know. I'm dying to see Rose back in action. I need her to stay healthy. Yeah, I'd like to see that. Somebody asked what my score prediction was for the game. It was actually 3-0. I did actually predict this one accurately. So we'll see. Are we going to see Croy and Hal soon? I don't know. Supposedly they've been in touch with the team. I think unless either of them comes on real strong in the next couple of weeks, you don't see them in the July window. Do you see them the September? Maybe. Is Rose a generational talent? That's the most technically gifted player we've seen. I think she is. I think she's pretty good. Lowe looked lost, definitely. I mean, y'all, again, I'm not going to judge anybody 7 in at the 70th minute when you're already up 3-0 in a friendly. I'm just not. Thoughts on Moultrie? Would you replace her with somebody else? I'm happy to see her back in the mix. I think she deserves to be back in the mix. You know, did she do anything today where I was like, yes, like more minutes? No, but nobody did that subbed in. So how do I feel about Johanna? I think that she is the future. I think that she should be playing every minute you can give her without it being a problem. Like I think that midfield looks markedly different whenever she's playing. I feel like the goalie slowed play at times, falling on the ball when she could have quickly outletted. Yeah, that's fair. But also, like, some of that's just timing and, you know, still working with a new backline. And also, like, at times they played a higher press, but they fell off of that pretty quick. Let's see. Heaps, I thought was great today. No issues. Like, this is her best use case. Let's see. Foudy said apparently Lowe was maybe going to go to the Olympics, which I didn't know. Kind of crazy. That's okay. So what she was referring to was there was a comment by Emma Hayes like a week ago in the pressers where they were thinking about Lowe on the Olympic roster, and she kind of said that. So I assume it was that. I don't think she was like maybe going to go to the Olympics. It was just kind of like they were looking at her, which is good to know. They've been looking at her. They should be looking at her. She plays well. So would love to move on from Heaps. A lot of people would love to move on from Heaps. Give me another aerial threat. Like literally give me another aerial threat because there is not one right now. There is not one. And until that changes, among other reasons, like you're going to keep her. She's going to start. We have no other aerial threat besides Lindsay Heaps. And you need to have an aerial threat. Why is Lowe being called up but not Kruger? How much time do you have? So, okay, this is, I meant to make a longer video on this. But it is a fair criticism because she is going to be older. And again, when I am viewing this roster and when I am viewing what we are doing, my eyes are on 2027 World Cup. They should be on the 2027 World Cup for everybody because there's no meaningful other competition in the interim. So you're building a roster to that. I have no issue with a 34-year-old center midfielder. I think that is an age you can still play that position. That is fine. Expecting a almost 37, because I think she like turns 37 at the beginning of August or something, Casey Kruger. Almost 37-year-old outside back to be your best option at the 2027 World Cup. That is a bad lotto ticket. It's just not a good bet. It's possible. It's certainly possible. And if she is the best option come 2027, she should go, but she should not be in the mix in the interim. I have, again, less of a problem with betting on somebody being viable at 34 in the center, right? Those outside positions, they run more. It's more miles. It's harder the older you get. You have more options to adjust and more miles at speed, mind you, because if you look at the actual mileage per match, they're going to come out pretty similar, but like they're sprinting that. It's just harder on your body to keep doing that position. So whenever you're playing more of the spine stuff, you can go longer. That's just the deal. So that is my take on that. Are we going to see the B team next match? Probably. I think that's probably accurate. I'm still here, Stina. I know. Oh, God. Well, yeah, I am still here. That's kind of surprising to me, too. So we should wrap it up so I can go watch UCLA softball. I have not checked the score. I got to go check on that. Oh, thank you for the compliment, Kirsten. Appreciate you. Yeah, they're a little extra green in whatever lighting's going on today. Does Fallon have good delivery? She did leading up to the third goal, so I think she's still working on it. Mitch Purse call-up, I think she's looking good. It's just that's a rough position to be trying to get called in at. There's a lot of depth there. A lot of depth. No score. Okay, thank you for that. BC, I appreciate you. All right, y'all. We're wrapping it up, I think. Okay, talk about how Arsenal can't afford to pay Nice longer to sit on the bench. I'm curious what's going to happen with that, because I think Arsenal's in a really interesting spot. This summer, it's kind of going to be the first time Renee gets to have meaningful contributions to the roster building, right? So I'm very curious to see what moves we make. I think, extending Freedom Autumn was a great move. It was not one that, if you'd asked me this time last year, I would have thought we were making. In fact, I thought Autumn was on her way out, and I was okay with it. She's been much better under Renee than she was under ULNS. Thoughts on Fuller? I did not watch any of the U20 stuff, so I'm not sure. But, I think she's strong. I think I like her for ACFC. I think there's probably a better option. But I also don't see her being in the mix for senior anytime soon. Avaya to Arsenal, would love to see it, wouldn't hate it. But I also think that's not a position we need as much help at, personally. Do I think Chloe Kelly stays at Arsenal? Absolutely. Absolutely. I will be personally heartbroken. I will be crying on my couch again if she goes anywhere else. Like, Chloe Kelly, you can't do it to me. Can't do it to me. Fuller scored a penalty during it. Okay, we'll take it. We'll take it. Let's see. What is Sonnet's future? Seems to have gone from shaky sub to stable core. I think that's just, again, out of necessity. I cannot imagine anybody is like talking to Emily Sonnet and saying, you're starting in the 2027 World Cup. It's not happening. It's just not. It's just not. So Izzy Engel is fantastic for the U20 squad. I didn't watch it. I got to go back and watch it, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm not up to, I did not watch the U20. Let's see. ACFC hopefully will get back to groove after the Saudi King thing. I think they're still shaking from it. Absolutely. I think they needed the break. I think new coach coming in is going to be a good reset. It will be a lot of that. So, all right. On that note, let's see. Are we going to see Sam's McKeon start or add Goma and Sonnet in there? I think you should give. I think at least Sam's deserves an opportunity to start, because I don't think she's really gotten it. But I also think whenever you start two center backs that have not gotten meaningful minutes there, you're setting them both up for failure. So I would prefer not to see them start together. I would prefer to see them each get an opportunity beside Gurma. But we will see. Let's see. Barcenas or Escancio call up next. Barcenas was not even called up on any of the youth teams. I'm not sure what's going on there. I think Escancio has been very good. Very good. I'm happy to not see Corbin tonight. Yeah, it was nice not to worry about having that conversation with her subbing in. I will begrudgingly tell folks that she played much better at the 10 for the U23 than she's done playing a 6-8 weirdness. But the 10, it's hard to break in at the 10. It's very difficult, but that is by far her better use case. So, all right, y'all. On that note, I'm going to go watch UCLA. Good win. I will see you all against Jamaica. And again, follow, subscribe, whatever, wherever you are. And yeah, let's fucking go. And YouTube, I say bye to you second. See y'all later.